This is the double fan from Shinic. It's a window fan. So it can be used stationary on a table or a desk. It comes with these feet that you can attach to the bottom. There is like a small screw here. Better look at it. So you just kind of screw this in and lock it into place, and then these will allow you to use them as feet. But you can also remove them if you don't want to use them like that and put them in the windowsill. It's supposed to come with the remote control. I don't know. Mine didn't. I didn't even realize till I checked other reviews that it comes with remote control and double checked the listing. But I'm not really torn about that. I probably would end up losing it anyway. But the remote control, as far as I saw, has the same, all the controls are on here. I would have been upset otherwise, but all the controls for the fan are actually on the fan itself. So here we have the LED screen. Let's move the light back so you can see it's an actual LED screen right there. And that should give you the temperature of the room, which turn it on, and all the functions will be illuminated up there. So I'm just gonna set this up so it can be a little bit more sturdy, and I'll show you more of the feature. Okay, so I've just snapped the feet on. I didn't screw them in, but I just kind of snapped them on, and right now it's fine. It's not going to go anywhere with just the feet on. It also has these on the side, these expandable sort of walls that can come out. There's a word for it. I don't remember exactly what it is, but sort of expandable panels, that's what I wanted to say, that can come out and extend so that your window is completely covered, that there's no extra space in between your window, and it maximizes the airflow in and out. And these just go in and out like that. And then this is a locking mechanism for the panels. It just kind of snaps up and down like that. There's one on the top and one on the bottom for each side. And then we have the front panel, again with the actual modes and operation, that kind of thing. So I'm just going to set it to speed, just turn it on. That's just the on and off button. So speed, and it's gonna focus so you can see everything right there. So we have speed. So that is low. And I believe the blades are going clockwise in this direction. And then you can, of course, change the direction. So right now it's showing that the room right now is about 74 degrees. And then as it changes, it will, I think that's changing because there's a warm light right above it. So it's going to be a little bit different as to what it's going to be recognizing the actual temperature as. But it should, once it's usually in the window and the room is closed off or sectioned off, you can see the temperature change as it goes along. So that's 75. That's the medium speed now. High speed. So yeah, of course it is a little bit louder, but it's a fan. It sounds like a fan. It's nothing, you know, if it has to get this high, I think you're not going to care about it being this high because you need the fan to do what you need it to do. So now that's off. So there we go. And then you have different modes. And you have also your change between different modes. And then you have change between the different settings here for the airflow. So you have the main regular setting where it blows wind in from the back. And this setting is to reverse the blades, and it reacts pretty quickly. And then this mode, I believe, should have it to where it goes they go opposite directions. So I believe this blade is going clockwise, and then this blade is going counterclockwise. So it deals with the airflow. So this should, try to see if this will, yeah, it holds up. You can see that there's a suction to it on this blade versus this one. So this one pulls air in and that one pushes air out. And that's how that goes. So yeah, I think it's pretty cool. There's also these modes up here, which I believe indicate what temperature you want it to be set at. Like, it would only kick in at certain temperatures. So it will stay off unless it's at a certain temperature. So I'm gonna say set it to like 78 and see what happens. So now it's turned off. So nothing is happening at all because it hasn't reached that temperature just yet. So That's another energy saving sort of setting you can have. Instead of running constantly, just as soon as it hits the certain degree or certain temperature that you want, it should kick in by itself. So I'm going to turn it down to 77 as the detecting temperature, and it should turn on based on, you know, based on the setting. And then it should turn off by itself. Okay, so so it seems to be off by about about 1 degree, so it's nothing too bad. But so say around, say maybe plus or minus 1 degree, it should kick in and turn on and off. So that's what that is. Otherwise, when you press it off, it just stays on by itself. So yeah, pretty simple. It's a lot lighter than I thought it would be. The cord is pretty long, pretty decent for what it is. It blows very cool air. And then of course when you have it in your window and you have these panels out, it maximizes the airflow in and out and the amount of cool air versus hot air you can get. The temperature display is pretty accurate, and then the different modes allow for energy saving versus just having the fan run all day or all night. You can change the airflow, multiple functions. I think it's supposed to have remote. Not sure what happened to mine, but again, it's not totally necessary as long as you have the unit, because the unit has all the functions on it already. So if you want to invest into a, just affordable, air circulation device for your window or even your desktop or your tabletop, this is definitely something I would say to look into.
This is a review on the Shinic dual fan. What I love about this is that it is for windows that rise up, and in my case, windows that slide this way. Very, very snug fit. Very snug fit. The extenders on each side actually lock, so it doesn't slide down on you. And I can't say enough about this fan. It's got 3 speeds, low, medium, high. It's got different modes, and it's actually pretty user-friendly. I don't like a million gadgets, especially when you don't use half of them. Airflow, this will take hot air out of your room and blow it out of your house. That is the airflow, or of course just have it normal where it's bringing cold air. But the best part about this fan, other than the quality of the fan, is it has a really user-friendly remote control. Press the power button on, put it on the temperature you want. Whoops, sorry. So right now my room is 74 degrees on low. Medium, high. And it sounds loud, but it's not. You set the control, the temperature where you want it, and that fan is going to kick on every time. The only thing I would have changed about this fan is, believe it or not, in the evening, this light, that little LED display will light up your whole room, and it looks like a full moon in your bedroom. I guess you could put a piece of tape over it. But it is just an excellent fan. Don't even look any further. Just get this one.
So I bought this window fan for the time between summer and spring, where I wanted to pull out the air from the room and get some fresh air in the room and cool it down as well. Comes with a remote. I didn't put batteries in it yet. 2 AAAs are needed. Comes with a little bit of weather stripping, so you can fill in the gaps. And it looks like it comes with a stand. You could put it on a stand if you want. So, shows speed on. Has a buzzy noise, that's about it. And this shows that it's coming in the room. Airflow changes, and the fans stop and go the opposite direction to push the air out of the room. And then one more time. Now, this fan blows in, that fan blows out. Change the speed. Medium. High. Change the temperature. Oh, can't go lower than 61. Okay, move in that spot. And turn it back off.
Took out my AC because it was being loud and kind of making my room stuffy a little bit. Put this in, really good. It is a lot quieter than my AC, and I honestly kind of prefer the airflow a lot more. My room is not chilly, but it's bearable, and it feels better having continuous air coming in. The remote keeps sure like the temperature, if it reaches a certain temperature, it stops. Usually this happens like during cold nights. It gets really cold nights here, so it's actually works really well. And the speeds, the airflow, it's coming in. I could change it to come out. It's going out. And then I could change it to go in and out. But usually I like to do rounds of just like taking the air out and taking the air back in. If it gets too cold, usually pushing air out seems to do the trick, and pushing air in, it works as well.
So I recently got this shinic fan from a window with this nice remote control, and you can push the power to turn it on and off, which is not really unusual. The unusual part is that I also have beside here a little soap dispenser, which decides to actually also work when I press the button for my fan. It's a kind of a little bit awkward thing because when I turn this off, as you can see here, and I turn it back on, sadly that every time I do this, my motion activated soap dispenser also decides to function. Well,
oh, there it is. I'll turn it on. Okay, and that's pushing air in, and then that's sucking air out, and then that's one sucking in and one blowing out, and then it has different speeds.
I would imagine for a split moment you were probably thinking, oh, I can't see you, but you can see me.
I think the batteries are going dead in the remote here. Yep. My batteries are dead. It won't do the speeds, but it has 3 different speeds. It works really good. Because, you know, I got a bunch of plants in my room and stuff like that, so, you know, it helps out.
So as you can see, the fan blade is snapped off. It is right there. It's snapped off from there to there. Everything else works except it rattled and then snapped off. So I unplugged it so the fan blade doesn't work too hard and cause more damage.